My name's Ted Feeney, and I'm the former nonprofit leader here in the Butler-Tarkington neighborhood. A little over 3 years ago, not far from this spot, a little 10-year-old boy was shot and killed. He was the victim of a drive-by shooting in this residential neighborhood. It was one of 6 that happened in a very short period of time. It was a tragic loss of life and left a terrified community. Our neighborhood and our city was under attack, and we did something about it. Many groups and people contributed to this effort. A big part of the success was the work of Mayor Greg Ballard and his team. He worked with neighborhoods and the city government, working together in collaboration. They had a sense of urgency to fix the problem and the expertise to make it happen. And when we asked the city for help, they showed up and followed through. It was an all-hands-on-deck approach, and it worked. And for the next 2.5 years, there were no homicides in this place. We showed a path and made sure that no neighborhood should endure this type of daily headline of public safety crisis in Indianapolis. So today, I have the honor and the privilege to introduce our former mayor, Greg Ballard. I first met him at one of his many Mayor Nights Out events around the community, an opportunity for them to listen, get feedback, and provide assistance to city residents. He and his team tackled the tough issues and had solutions for infrastructure, wastewater, childhood hunger, pre-K, and neighborhood blight. Because of his successful 8 years as our mayor, Mayor Ballard joins the list of transformative mayors over the last 50 years in Indianapolis. Lugar, Hudnut, Goldsmith, Peterson, Ballard. He leaves behind a legacy of connectivity, placemaking, and sustainability. Mayor Ballard was a true public servant, and he made a difference here. He's currently a visiting fellow with UIndy and is the author of the new book, Less Oil or More Caskets: The National Security Argument for Moving Away from Oil. Please help me welcome Mayor Greg Ballard.
Well, thanks everybody for coming out today. So happy that this is indoors. I have old bones, but I am honored to introduce to you today State Senator Jim Merritt as candidate for the mayor of Indianapolis. Back in early 2007, when nobody knew who I was, and it seemed like even fewer people actually supported my candidacy, Jim Merritt agreed to be the campaign chair for my election. I never forgot that. And so it is my pleasure here in 2019 to repay that kindness along with the co-chair, Melissa Crawford-Schmidt. Thank you for doing this. Like me, Jim was raised in Indianapolis. He attended local schools. He raised his family here. And as a state senator, he has been a true advocate for the city of Indianapolis and has worked tirelessly for his hometown even before taking this step to run for mayor. He has supported very important initiatives that have laid the groundwork for our city's success. Economic development policies, common sense tax proposals, education options for families, and also his well-known and his extremely important fight against drug and opioid addiction. When I ran in 2007, we gained the support of our friends and our neighbors because of the power of our ideas and our pledge to work hard for the citizens of Indianapolis. Jim embodies both of these qualities, and that's why I believe he would be a tremendous leader for our city. Ladies and gentlemen, State Senator Jim Merritt.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Ted. I am a candidate for the mayor's office of Indianapolis. I love Indianapolis. I truly do. And we picked this place for a real reason today. I'm kind of a history buff, and as many of you know, and this is history. This is an old automobile dealership. There's an elevator in the back that doesn't work, but it can take cars all the way to the top so cars can be parked on the roof. And it's an interesting place. We've got this beautiful park over here that is just going to make life fun for Butler Tarkington. It's all about Butler Tarkington. It's all about the grassroots. My buddy Niles and I walked in today, and we were walking around the neighborhood and looking at the beauty of this neighborhood. And it's coming back. And Ted Feeney had a lot to do with that. And it's a great example of what people can do in the grassroots of Indianapolis, and some of the forgotten communities around Indianapolis as well. That's not really to say that we do have some problems in this city, some big problems. You know, my passion for Indianapolis is going to make me an outstanding mayor. I will get up every day and breathe Indianapolis. Breathe Indianapolis. Put a smile on Indianapolis. It's something very, very important for the mayor to do. I've got energy, and anybody in this room knows I will outwork anyone. Anyone. And that's what it's going to take. You know, I'm an underdog. We know this. But I love that status. I have won 8 terms in the Indiana Senate, but this is special. This is my hometown, ladies and gentlemen. But we do have big problems. We all know crime is going to be an issue, serious violent crime, unsolved murders, what Ted just talked about. 160 people died in this community, in Indianapolis, in 2018. 47 were between 18 years old and 24 years old. Think about that. Our kids. And we know about the rampant homelessness. You know, we have 10 tent cities a while ago. Now we have 3. No wonder people are wandering the city of Indianapolis. They need to be taken care of on a temporary basis and a permanent basis. You know, I'm working on some plans here, some bold new solutions, and I've done some homework. And we have some great community programs, but they're not coordinated, and they're all chasing the same dollar. The same dollar. They're underfunded. We need to get back to conflict resolution in the grassroots, and that's why we're here today, is to talk about the grassroots. As you can see, I've got a lot of energy, and I'll have the same energy in November. I'll be out knocking on doors on Saturday, this Saturday. This is a 10-month sprint, and I hope you all come along with me, because, thanks, Becky. In the next 10 months, we're going to be talking about bold new solutions. How we can help the grassroots, how we can help that person who is homeless that has some sort of behavioral health problem. We are going to transform Indianapolis. And this is my pledge. You know, I took a look at my granddaughter's picture before. By the way, it's a Gerber baby. I took a look at Merritt Baker's picture, and this is for her. This is for her. I pledge that every decision I make, and this is just like you, Greg, for the next 40 years, I'm going to be thinking about Indianapolis 40 years from now. There's going to be a lot of things said in the next 10 months. I'm going to be sharing my vision for the future of Indianapolis. My opponents, which are many, they patch, plan, bold new solutions. There's going to be a plan out there. We are going to offer our vision for the future of Indianapolis. And I am so happy. I told somebody today, it was probably somebody here, but my heart is filled today for Indianapolis. It always has and it always will. I grew up here, raised a family here, ran a business here, and it's home. It's my hometown. And I am running for the mayor's office of the city of Indianapolis. Thank you very much. Anybody have any questions?
What are those bold new initiatives, Jim?
Those bold initiatives are going to be discussed, Mr. Quaid, over the next 10 months. But I can tell you this much, that we will get back to data collection in the grassroots like Mayor Ballard. We will have Mayor's Night Out every month. The mayor will be out. I will be out with my shirt sleeves up. We're going to work on unsolved crimes. We're going to there's a lot of forgotten communities in this county, and we're going to use our expertise to extend economic development to them.
And I know you've done your homework on this, so I know you can answer this one. What are you going to do about the opioid epidemic gripping Indianapolis?
Well, I have several. Jordan would say I have a lot of bills. I have numerous bills this year that will establish a what we call a comprehensive addiction recovery center in the city of Indianapolis, where all the partnerships with all the hospitals. We need a detox, treatment, and recovery system of care in this state. And right now, we're getting there. We're not there yet, but it takes expertise. Just like any other industry, we need labor, we need the workforce, we need hospitals, we need everybody, we need the insurance companies, and I will continue to work on it. You know, we have to get back to the fact that addiction is not a character flaw, and it's an illness. And we've had so many people pass away, 73,000 people nationwide that have died of overdoses. This is something that we will concentrate, Russell, in this year and the following 4.
It's difficult to run against the mayor who has made bipartisanship a operational plan, especially among some of the elected officials that are in this room with you today who supported him on the council in other ways.
Well, Leader McQuillan is here, and his constituents, you know, that's interesting you ask that, Russell, because that's a baseline. Everybody expects us to work together. I don't know where this came, that this is such a success. People expect us to work together. We do that at the State House. And to have that as a major accomplishment after 3 years, great, wonderful. But what else? What's your agenda for the next 25 years of the city of Indianapolis?
Senator, you just had a pretty tough re-election campaign. When did you decide to run for mayor?
I chose right around the Christmas holiday, and it was 160 deaths. It was 47 of them being 18 to 24 years old. It was having looking at my granddaughter. It was really making a difference, and I'm really pumped about it. I've always been enthusiastic about Indianapolis, but I'm so excited about leading this community in 2020.
Jim, what has this administration failed to do? What should they be doing that you would be doing?
Well, Mary, good question. Okay. At one time, we had 4 bridges out in the city of Indianapolis. College, Central, the Illinois Street Bridge over the canal, Spring Mill, all these bridges out. You know, fine, safety, whatever you want to talk about, but tell us why they're closed, tell us how to get around it, communicate with us. I was waiting in line to get out of Indianapolis, downtown Indianapolis, when INDOT was closed, the West Street intersection of 65 and in that area, and I was in line for about 20 blocks. but nobody was helping us get out of town. There has to be a branding. There has to be a communication. I really believe that the city of Indianapolis and the citizens, the great citizens, have to know what the mayor's thinking. And it's all about talking about your heart, talking about your strength, and communicating. If those 4 bridges were just about to fall in, fine. Tell us. Tell us when they're going to open back up. Now, the Central Bridge, that's got federal money in it, I found out, and that's a reason why it's closed. But I think we deserve when a big snow is coming. My daughter took an hour and a half a year ago to get down to Chase Tower from 53rd and Guilford. An hour and a half, because nobody knew that there was going to be a snowstorm. It's all about communication. That's what leaders do. Leaders tell a story, and this mayor's not telling the story.
What's the story with the police department and crime?
Well, first of all, Richard, welcome back to town. And Peep's going to be a page next week. Yeah. Crime, violent crime. People, my mom doesn't drive anymore. But if my mom was going to the grocery, I'd be worried about her getting out of her car and getting into the store. People feel unsafe. It's theft and it's murder. And I think they won't say it, but I believe there's a lot of morale problems at IMPD. They won't be there when I'm there. They won't be there when I'm there. And Richard, this unsolved crime rate has to stop. We have got to redouble our efforts. And what Ted said is exactly right. That 10-year-old boy didn't have to die. And those 46 others didn't either. And we need a solid workforce in the Indianapolis Police Department. And it will be there. I'll be right in back of them. We have a police officer here today that is not in uniform, but I was so happy, and this is a millennial, Richard. Well, I was so happy that he wanted to be a law enforcement officer, because a lot don't. We don't pay them enough, and it's dangerous out there, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm just so pleased that he's there, because I feel safer because he's there.
With your support of the police department when Mayor Ballard left office, that was a post-merger manpower low, and the current mayor has added significant numbers of officers. He's got until the end of the year to reach his goal. Has that been one of the advances and successes of Joe Hogshead's administration vis-a-vis the police department in the last few years?
Well, Russell, as I understand it, Seattle's taking a lot of our police officers because we don't pay them enough. I haven't seen the figures of what we had, what we don't. We need more recruitment classes. But right now, if I'm an IMPD police officer, I feel like a social worker with a gun. And we need to do a lot better job of collaboration, coordination, convening, communication with our grassroots, so police officers can defend us, can keep us safe, and be what they're supposed to be. And so I don't have really any comment about numbers or whatnot, but the bottom line is that we need a well-trained workforce in law enforcement, as well as we need a renewed effort in the grassroots in regards to behavioral health.
We saw in the countywide election this past fall that the margins for Democrats are getting, the margins for wins are getting bigger. The first statement that the Democrats had out today about your run was that you're too conservative to be mayor. Mm-hmm. What is your response to that?
Well, first of all, I am pro-life, and I do that proudly. I have a lot of friends that can't have kids. It just makes you all the more pro-life and pro-adoption, and I've worked on that. They can talk about anything in my past, and I'll answer it. I've got a 28 years, going on 29 years of record, and I'm very proud of it. I'm happy to answer any question about any piece of legislation I voted on. But I will tell you that I will support the hate crimes bill this year. And I feel very strongly about representing Indianapolis, as I always have, in many, many ways. And I'm quite proud of my record, and I'm happy to debate it anytime. Yeah, Mary?
You told me you have $10,000 right now in your campaign.
10,000 bucks.
Yeah.
The little engine that could, just like you, just like Greg. Yeah.
What's it gonna take to win this election? I mean, money talks now.
Money talks, but Mary, you remember that Hillary had probably 3 times the amount that Donald Trump had. And anybody that follows me with hashtag things I think about while going door to door knows that I'll be using social media. By the way, that was a fake Twitter account today. That tells you that my opponents are a little nervous about us. But we'll be using social media. We'll be raising as much money as we can. And I'm ready to go, Mary. I've got so much energy, and I've got such a work ethic that I'm not worried about the money angle.
You have a goal?
I have a goal. I think it probably is going to be, the mayor has $3 million. He'll probably add $1 million or $2 million or whatever. But if I have $1.5 million with my energy, I'm going to win.